You might wonder why you need a niche. After all, Coca-Cola markets to everyone, and they're doing okay, right? But you probably don't have the marketing budget of Coca-Cola. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by having a niche teaching business and how it can be a real game changer when it comes to marketing your business in a way that attracts the right clients who are good to work with and who are willing to pay a fair rate. My name's Rachel Roberts. I help ELT and ESL freelancers work out the best way to use their talents to earn more and work less. First things first, what exactly is a teaching niche? A teaching niche is a specialized area of teaching based on your skills, interest, and experience. For example, teaching English to IT professionals or IELTS. But it's not just a question of what genre of English you teach, or even who your clients are. Niche can also be about the methodology that you use, or even the personality of the students that you work with. It's probably easier to think about it less than putting yourself into one category, and more about the intersection of various different categories. For example, my niche is ESL and ELT freelancers. It's quite broad in that I don't just work with online teachers, but also with materials writers, editors, consultants, teacher trainers, and even school owners. But there are other facets which narrow down my niche. Firstly, I mostly work with people who've been in English language teaching for some time. This means that they have a lot of skills and experience, but they're not necessarily fully utilising these to make a success of their business, to work less and earn more. I also teach a particular approach to marketing, organic marketing. This means that I help you get clear about your niche and what those clients want or need, and develop messaging that works and that calls out to these people so that they're attracted to you. I don't teach cold messaging or calling, and I don't teach ads. I also focus quite a lot on productivity and systems, not just what you need to do to get clients, but what you need to do in order to keep them and to keep your business running smoothly. The fourth key element is that I have a lot of emphasis on mindset, because as a trained counsellor and coach, I know how much mindset can hold you back in your business. And I know just how to help people overcome these blocks. And of course, there is then the business model that I have, a combination of my membership, the Confident ELT Freelancer Collective, and my comprehensive business development group program, Flourishing Foundations. Hopefully you can see now how a niche can be made up of these kinds of different elements, and how all these elements put together can help to set you apart from other people who may be doing similar things, and allow you to provide an almost unique service for your clients that will fit them and their needs really well. So what are the different elements in your niche? Let me know in the comments. But why is it important to have a teaching niche? Why would you turn away clients who want something other than your niche? The most important thing to understand here is that having a teaching niche is mainly about marketing. If you want to teach some completely different students who come to you through word of mouth, that's fine. You're allowed to teach anyone you like. But trying to speak to and appeal to all kinds of different clients at once will not help you to attract clients. Quite the opposite, in fact. Think about this like having a restaurant. Every restaurant pretty much has a niche. Most often this is about the type of food that they offer: Indian, French, Chinese. For people who are looking for French food, this is really helpful, but that won't be the whole picture. There's also the positioning. Is this a Michelin star French restaurant that appeals to people who are willing to invest serious money for excellent cuisine? Or maybe it's a cozy little bistro with a few really well done classics at a very reasonable price. Is it quiet and intimate, or noisy and bustling? Is there background music? And if so, what type? And there might be other elements too. For example, maybe it's a vegetarian or vegan French restaurant, though actually that might be quite hard. Or maybe it's a vegan restaurant which has cuisine from around the world and doesn't actually limit itself to one particular type of cuisine. All of these things help the restaurant owner to market their restaurant to potential customers. Imagine if you saw a restaurant that just said restaurant outside. Would it appeal to you? If you went in and asked them about the food and they said, oh, well, whatever really, Now, you might go for that, but you'd probably assume that the food wouldn't be that great because they're not specialists. It would also be hugely problematic for the restaurant because they'd be having to produce small quantities of hundreds of different kinds of dishes, which is what you have if you're constantly teaching totally different kinds of students with totally different kinds of needs. Yes, you have the variety, but it's likely to be quite exhausting, and you're not going to develop those specialisms or have all of those materials that you've already prepared and know that they work. Whereas if you have a clearer niche, you'll soon find that there is almost certainly core content that just about every one of your students needs. And that also opens up the door for providing an asynchronous course or a hybrid course where some of that material that all your students need could be recorded. So how are you feeling about niche now? Tell me in the comments. Maybe you are convinced that you need to have a teaching niche, but how do you find what your teaching niche should be? Firstly, identify your strengths and passions. What are you particularly good at when it comes to teaching English? What subjects or topics do you enjoy teaching most? What are your own areas of expertise or experience? Answering these questions can help you identify the areas where you have a natural aptitude and interest, which can then form the basis of your teaching niche. Of course, you also need to research market demand. What are the most popular topics or subjects that students are looking to learn? What are the gaps in the market that you could fill with your expertise and skills? You can use online forums, student groups, and keyword research tools to find out more about what your ideal clients are looking for. You can also do research simply by trying things out. Experiment with different topics and formats to see what works. For example, you could create a short course or training session on a particular area or topic and see what the uptake is amongst your potential clients. Some people will tell you that you should only focus on what sells and not on what you find interesting or even what you have experience in. But from my perspective, this is unlikely to work unless you're highly motivated by simply making money. Running a business is a very long-term, intensive thing to do. And I believe that you need to have some interest and passion in what you're doing, as well as some experience in it to really make a go of it. But that does need to obviously be combined with finding a niche where people are able and willing to pay. In some cases, when I work with clients, they already know their niche or they're able to develop it pretty quickly. For other people, it takes longer and develops over time. Listen carefully to your clients. They will tell you what it is that they're looking for and what they need. In this way, you can shape and refine your niche as you go. You may find that you need to narrow your niche even further to become a true expert in a particular area. Or you may discover new opportunities that you didn't initially think of based on your clients' demands and interests and needs. And if you want my help with developing your niche, creating a business model that works for you and your potential clients, and learning how to market it effectively, you won't do better than joining my 3-month comprehensive business development program, Flourishing Foundations. Check the description of this video for the link to find out more.